let's move into the story where we're about 20 minutes away now from trivia, which is Andrew's been absolutely dreading, but no, we're nearly there. About 15 minutes away, and the last 20 minutes of the show is going to be trivia. So, anyways,
you don't have the screen share up.
I don't have the screen share.
I can't move into it until you have
that
your
would
screen
be
share.
ideal if I was to get the screen share.
Take this time to remind everybody watching
right.
to like the video.
Oh yeah, like the video, guys. Like the
Himbo.
video. We need to make sure we like the video and get ourselves up in the rankings. Like if you care about us at all.
I can't believe you pulled up himbo from an Urban Dictionary. That's hilarious, dude. That was the funny. I almost lost my shit when you did that, man. That was so funny. I was like, this dude, this
keep it together though. Oh, you dude. Like you expect me to not laugh when you pull up the whole highlight reel that he did, and I'm there trying to be a neutral moderator and trying to not laugh.
That shit was super funny, dude. It really was funny.
All right. So here's the story. Ashley St. Clair is kicking up a big fuss about the Grok AI. And to be honest with you, it is Ashley St. Clair, but I have been looking at this myself recently and being like, there has to be some sort of legal issues that they can get into when Grok is constantly undressing people for Twitter. I know it's a deep fake, but like, what is the parameters here? What are the boundaries? So let's have a listen to this and then we'll get into it.
The worst for me was seeing myself undressed, bent over, and then my toddler's backpack in the background, because I had to then see that and see myself violated in that way and such horrific images, and then put that same backpack on my son the next day, because it's the one he wears every day to school.
St. Clair, an author and mother of two, has a son with Musk. She's one of many victims of non-consensual sexual deepfakes created and shared by Grok.
Did you ask Grok to take those photos down?
I did, multiple times. Grok said, I confirm that you don't consent. I will no longer produce these images. And then it continued to produce more and more images and more explicit images.
St. Clair says she filed a report directly with XAI, which operates Grok. Some of the images were then removed.
When you think about the person who is leading this tech and making it available to the public, what do you want to say to that?
Make it stop. This can be stopped with a singular message to an engineer.
Last week, Malaysia and Indonesia banned Grok, while regulators in the United Kingdom have launched an investigation. A recent study
very sinister music, by the way. Very sinister music.
Yeah, that was really well produced.
Mm-hmm.
It's really tugged at the heartstrings there.
Yeah, I reckon it's bad choice of music because it kind of sounds like somebody's about to be like a pop-up's about to happen in a thriller movie or something.
It does seem like there's Michael Myers is behind the door, right? It does sound like that.
Yeah.
A nonprofit
I will say, to be
investigates
fair,
the algorithms of
public figures do have the right to determine how their likeness is used.
Yeah, we'll get into it after this.
Major platforms found that more than half of the Grok images they reviewed contained individuals in minimal attire, the vast majority of them women.
What do you say to the people?
Maybe it was the Twitter user who put it in or whoever edited the video, because I don't think that the news would put that in.
No, I don't think so. That's so loud over top. It's almost comical.
Yeah. But anyway, so here's the issue. I mean, I've been seeing this a lot. People, pretty much every time I log into my Twitter feed these days, there's always someone saying, Grok, remove this, or Grok, put this person in a bikini, or Grok, do X and Y, and Grok does it. And I'm thinking to myself, there has to be some sort of a boundary here. There has to be some sort of legal consequences for this if you're just undressing people and everything. So, I mean, what do you think?
I think they don't give a shit at all. Most of these people don't care at all. Here's what I think is going on. Now, this is gross and disgusting, and it should stop immediately. I agree with that. But let me take a slightly different angle, Jake. What if what's going on is all the prostitutes on X who are selling their asses to everybody and their brother, right? By, you can't even scroll 5 feet without seeing a picture of some naked chick, right? Or somebody reposting a picture of a naked chick. Even when you go in your settings and turn as much of that shit off as you possibly can, you still see it. What if it's the case that these women are actually upset because Grok, that you could go in and ask Grok to simulate being that woman, just like if you were chatting with one of these OF girls. And then Grok will undress you this woman in whatever way they want and continue to talk to you as that woman. What do you need the woman for? That cuts into a market share, doesn't it? And so I actually wonder how many of these women are actually just upset because they want to keep the likeness of their own nude bodies to themselves so that they can sell them. That's what I wonder.
That's going to piss a lot of people off, but I agree with you.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. A chick like Ashley St. Clair, I guess it kind of kills the mystery a little bit, doesn't it? Like it kills that aspect of it. The OF chicks, it's definitely a good point. But like, let's
No, not just
let's
for the OF chicks, right?
Mm,
Let's say that you're going in because let's say you take a fucking idiot like Isabella DeLuca, right?
right.
Doesn't have a brain in her head, right? It never formed a coherent sentence in her life. Let's say you have her, the only thing that she has going for her is that she puts on gallons of makeup and begins the simp fishing crusades by posting half nude pictures of herself. Okay. Oh, well, now you got males who are giving you a lot of attention.
Mhm.
Now, let's say that somebody says, oh, well, has Grok undress them. Now, Grok is a learning AI software, right? It's only going to get better at simulating what these women would actually look like naked. It's only going to get better, not worse. So if you were one of these guys who followed a simp fisher, right, because the simp fisher wanted to kind of attract you in with bikini pics and things like that, and now you can just undress that person, wouldn't that create a problem for the simp fisher woman in this case? After all, why would the guy continue to go in to look at the scantily clad pics when he can look at the full Monty?
Yeah, I mean, I think that actually that probably best explains it from the perspective of the simp fishing chicks. That makes total sense.
Have you ever seen femcons and OF girls and shit like that ever complain about software imagery of naked women before? No, you haven't. They don't give a flying. But suddenly when people are doing it to them, right, you can make the argument, no, they actually just care because they find it disgusting, even though they're out there defending and everything else under the sun, open relationships, they find it disgusting. Or you could think, well, maybe it's cutting into their market share and they see the potential that it's going to cost them a little bit of money.
Yeah. I mean, I think that fair enough. That totally explains that part of things. But I mean, just like this, for example, like this is just inhumane. You know, like people have made these videos, for example, like JD Vance, like singing Creed.
Let's make our escape. Come on, let's go there. Let's ask, can we stay? Can you take me higher?
So, I mean, how do we answer for that? Because the OF chicks and stuff is one thing, but then you've got people doing these sorts of videos, which I didn't want to play on the show today, but it's JD Vance singing Creed. Like,
look, it's hilarious, objectively. And I think that JD Vance would be laughing about it because it's hilarious. Okay. Like, look, this is part of a new meme culture, right? Of course, if we invent a new technology, which is designed to make videos of images of people do whatever the fuck you want, what did you think would happen with meme culture? Of course, it's going to use that technology. It's done it for music. It's doing it for imagery. It does it for text. It even does it for old memes. Makes cartoons come to life. It does everything you could ever want for meme culture. So, of course, people are using it, and it's hilarious. But it's not going to take, it was never going to take long before AI, the entire industry is banking on AI itself taking over massive swaths and aspects of the industry. Well, here's what's really hilarious. For years, the online political commentator and things like this, which are mostly ugly like myself, and occasionally I guess there's somebody like you, but ugly like myself, they're constantly like, oh my God, dude, there's so many of these fucking people tune into these dumb brainless women, right? Who don't have a thought in their head and are dumb as shit because they're not tuning in to hear their political takes. They're tuning in because they want to see a little bit of flesh. Right. What happens when it's the case that now the AI can just generate this chick talking and she's naked at the same time? There's no more need for that woman. There's no more need for her. It was hilarious is that AI would have actually a much more difficult time reproducing the ugly political commentary or commentator and his commentary than they would the brainless dumb thought who can't deliver any. It's just like the peak irony from my perspective.
Rachel Wilson in the chat saying, Andrew, you are gorgeous. Why are you lying?
Just
Rachel
pointing this out.
Rachel's simping in the chat.
Yeah.
All right.
Fucking chat simp.
Yeah. My rule in chat is only females allowed to simp, females allowed to simp. But
I think my wife's allowed to simp for me. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So I think that it is like, tell me about this argument though. So there's this argument that has been a good thing for men because it's
with an R. Okay.
Yeah. Like a chess piece, no.
Yeah.
It's been good because it's sort of staved off a revolution. All of these sort of more dysgenic, antisocial sort of guys will go and watch because basically they can't get access to women and these sorts of things, and it stopped a revolution from happening because all of these men who have no access to women, they're just like sort of sedating themselves and watching instead. Could you make the argument here? Could it be a logical argument to say that this whole AI thing, it could actually stop the OnlyFans girls from getting into that because it kills off the industry and there's no need for them to do it?
You have two problems here. Problem one is the supposition that it staved off a revolution because we have. Here's why that's a problematic argument. First and foremost, it's because people who watch tend to graduate into different forms of, right?
Yes.
I watch this, I keep on moving on to this, to this, to this, to this. What that actually tells you is that some dude in the 1950s who was fapping it out to Good Housekeeping or whatever the was around at the time, right, was perfectly content with that because there was no way to graduate to something else. Just saying, okay? Something to point out. There was plenty of ugly dudes then who were dysgenic looking, couldn't get women either. That argument has always been. And then moving into the second one, let's give me the second part of the argument.
So the second one was that maybe we could say something similar for this AI revolution and OnlyFans, because then these chicks won't be going on OF and everything, and it won't be an actual sort of dehumanization of the person.
Yeah, I would dismiss this too because it relies on the first supposition. So I would just say this. I would say that the reason that you're going to see so many prostitutes begin to moralize against AI, and you already are seeing it, by the way. Watch this trend. This will be the trend for 2026. Prostitutes moralizing against the human trafficking of AI and blah, 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 blah. And that's what this will become. It'll become, this is a new form of human trafficking. Guarantee it. And it'll be prostitutes and OnlyFans prostitutes and street hookers and things like this who take the forefront to moralize against this. The hilarious aspect of that is that it's just not going to have anything to do with human trafficking or anything else. It's going to have to do with market share, right? They want their pussies making the money. And if AI making the money, then whoever the guy is who has the AI team, right, he's making the money and not them. And that's what that's going to all be about. And it's pure cope to say anything else, I promise.
Yeah, the men will find a way to come around and monopolize the industry again. But I tell you what, the point that you made before about the graduation, because this is true, like Ted Bundy, I remember watching his interviews when he was in prison. He was basically saying that he watched and then it graduated and need more and more and more. And that sort of makes sense. Same with serial killers. They start with, hurting animals and then they eventually graduate to wanting to kill people. So if we have AI, which has a basically unlimited ability to make whatever they want, like this would definitely already be happening. All sorts of heinous things happening with AI videos and the sorts of things that they could make. And that could actually make that worse, like people's desire for.
Hilariously enough, this is just a rehash of the old animation argument, right? So you'll see this happen. This will be an argument which will come up as well. It'll be about CP, and you'll see the leftists will begin to take this up as these arguments get out into the ethos. The CP thing being, of course, and this is something we can say on Rumble because you're adults, right? The idea of child, which is horrific. But there used to be guys like Vosh, a political commentator, for instance. He made the argument that, and he's a communist leftist, of course, and he makes the argument, well, actually, there's no harm in animating child, right? Because there's no victim, and it actually helps the to not offend. That's going to be the argument that you're going to see with artificial intelligence, which is going to come from the community and the community, while the guys are like, no, it's not coming from us. It's coming from them. Okay. And that'll be part of the aspect for how the OnlyFans moralize against the usage of imagery for nudity, even when it comes to perceived adults. And the thing is, how the animators got away with it is they would basically draw like obviously underage kids in the animes, right? And then just say that they're 18 in the show. And so if it's inside of the show, they claim that they're 18. Gotcha. Now, right, you can draw them however you want. And that will be what happens with AI too. Mark my word.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I completely agree with all your arguments there, actually, especially about the revolution and all those sort of things. But interesting to get into it.